This is Mad Radio with Mike Meltzer and Seth Payne on Houston's sports leader, Sports Radio 610.
Into the 1 o'clock hour, Mad Radio on Houston Sports Leader, Sports Radio 610. He is Seth Payne. I'm Mike Meltzer, and joining us in studio from the Houston Texans is Jonathan Grimes. Jonathan, what's going on today? How are you?
I'm doing great. Nothing much is going on. Actually, this morning I went to high school, and that was fun. This kid Ramiro, he happened to be good, went through a healthy season. You know, you get your dings here and there throughout the season, but I'm feeling really good, ready to go.
You go through, I mean, you get a new coach in Bill O'Brien. Is always that heightened kind of new coaches, everybody all anew in a new regime like that?
I can agree with that, but even if it's old coaches, you still got to prove yourself darn near every day. But I definitely feel what you're saying.
Jonathan Grimes joining us in studio. I want to say, at the end of the season when Keenum came in, did you run any of those Wildcat plays in the last couple of weeks? Did you run those Wildcat plays or like the wild, whatever you call those plays?
I thought Jonathan you lined up in the. Did you take a snap?
Yeah.
You took a snap, right?
I took one, yep.
But then what did you ran? It was a running play.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I wasn't passing.
You threw no passes last year.
No.
We got to get you worked in as a passer in the Wildcat package. What was that like those couple weeks in practice where it kind of seemed like you guys were just going to do whatever it took? Was there an attitude that like, all right, look, we've got different quarterbacks shuffling in and out. There's a lot of change here. We're just going to have fun and do whatever it takes to win these football games.
Exactly. It was definitely fun. Just figuring out different ways to win, whatever it took. And I think everybody was on the same page to get it done. We weren't in the ideal situation how we obviously wanted to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it wasn't all in our hands, but we were going to do what we could control at that point, and was to win that last game.
How are you as a passer?
I think I'm pretty well. My dad was a quarterback, and he always groomed me to be a quarterback. So I threw many days, outside in the front yard, in the street, just throwing with him. And I could throw.
That's the key. We got to get you in the preseason to throw a couple passes so that the next time you line up to take the direct snap, you're a passing threat as well. They just load up on you otherwise.
How far can you throw it?
How far? I couldn't tell you. I mean, if I get to the 50-yard line, I'll reach the end zone.
Yeah. Well, based on the Arian pass to Fedorowicz, I think you could throw it that far.
Yeah.
That was a short one.
Hey, he's got the best QB rating right now for the Texans.
That's true. He does.
That's true. Yeah, that was a hell of a
it was a nice play.
Percentage. That's right.
Well, one thing I find interesting is like sometimes from our standpoint, football teams will like not reveal certain things and then they'll reveal certain things. And I remember before the Ravens game when we knew, Fitzpatrick broke his leg and Savage got hurt. And O'Brien came out and he was like, you're going to see a very different offense against Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And so we're sitting here like, you don't usually hear that kind of thing. And usually they wouldn't tip their hand. But that was the last 2 weeks against Baltimore and Jacksonville. It was a noticeably different offense than the one that had come the previous, 14, 15 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he didn't mind saying that because it's obvious that we gotta do something. And that didn't really give it away. And he's a very good coach, and he can come up with different schemes to put his players in good positions to win.
Jonathan Grimes joining us in studio. I kind of want to ask you about your overall career because it's had its high and low points. I remember you came here in 2012 and you played so well in the preseason, but I guess based on the numbers game, they had to let you go. Mm-hmm. You get signed by the Jets, and you're from New Jersey, right?
Right.
So you go to the Jets, and I'm a Jets fan, and I told my buddies up there, I was like, this kid's good. I mean, he came and he played well in the preseason. Looks like a good running back. And things didn't really work out that well with the Jets. You come back to Houston after Ben Tate gets hurt. So, and then they release you again. You play in Jacksonville, or you were there for like an off season.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of ups and downs the last couple of years, right?
Yeah, definitely. Not what I expected coming into the league, but I'm thinking I'm getting a little more grounded. Last year was my first year just staying with one team the whole time, so that felt really good, and that was my goal going into the last season. And this year, I just want to have another solid year.
It seems like Bill O'Brien's a coach that really respects and values versatility in a player. So is it? I imagine there's a premium with Bill O'Brien on being really mentally sharp and being a guy that it can change with the game plan each week, and that he can trust and rely upon if somebody goes down.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everything's pointed towards winning. Everything you do. So the more you can do to help the team, that's his kind of guy. You know?
You guys have an interesting. I didn't realize you were a music major. So if we combine Arian Foster's philosophy, your musical ability,
that's a Renaissance backfield.
It's a Renaissance backfield. It's kind of. Is it an interesting meeting room? Is it an interesting?
I do like our meeting room with him, Blue, Prash, and Ben Molina is definitely entertaining, and we keep it fun because sometimes the days can get monotonous, long grind. But we can keep our spirits up.
What's Blue like? He seems like a quiet kind of guy.
Blue is real cool. He's from Louisiana originally, Booty, and you can definitely hear that Southern drawl in his voice. And he's always got us going.
See, that's interesting. Yeah, because Blue seems happy all the time. Like Arian seems like he's always questioning everything. Like I feel like Arian's like I get this image of in the meeting room of Arian staring at Blue, like trying to figure out why the hell he's so happy, and questioning him deeply about it.
Yeah, we always got questions for Blue. We're like, what? Sometimes we don't even know what he says. Sometimes, but we got used to Blue, and he's great to be around. He's a really good teammate.
What's the biggest difference between Gary and Bill O'Brien in your mind?
It's obviously different philosophies as far as everybody's trying to win. But I guess as far as style, I remember Coach Koo was very laid back, very, very chill. And O'Brien will kind of get in your face sometimes when he feels like you need it. That'd be the biggest difference to me.
This was my impression of the offense last year as it went along. It seemed like early on in the first half of the season, there were a lot of instances where you could tell people were still thinking their way through things, whether it was in pass protection, run blocking, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And then things all of a sudden just started to click. And I can't remember at which point in the season, but it just looked like a more cohesive unit. Was there any specific moment where everything kind of clicked for everybody, or was it a matter of dialing back things offensively and simplifying it? Can you remember exactly how it went?
I think it was just an effort throughout the whole season to, get 11 guys on the same page. Every single play is a challenge to get 11 guys on the same exact page to do the same thing and execute. And, we're going to have that challenge again. And I think we'll be more consistent this year. That's what I'm hoping for. Everyone's got that year under them to learn the new system. And I would just say there'd be a lot less excuses now.
Yeah.
Not that we were looking for any before. But,
how complex is the offense, or was it for you in 2014?
It was just a lot, not necessarily super complex. It was just a lot of information to take in. And you really had to study your stuff and know the concepts. But it wasn't chemistry or nothing like that. But it was definitely a little difficult.
Did it surprise you at all when Ryan Mallett stepped in and was so competent on the mental side? I'm not saying you thought he was an idiot or anything, but just as a young quarterback that didn't have starting experience in the NFL, did it surprise you how competent he was just at directing the offense?
I was very impressed, just how comfortable he was. He was smooth. He didn't seem like he was too jittery or anything. He felt very comfortable, and he really took charge of the huddle, and I felt confident in him, just being behind him or next to him with protections and routes and everything.
Random question: when you guys went into that last game against Jacksonville, you needed a few different things to happen, including the Browns winning in Baltimore. That's the one thing that wasn't able to happen. Did you have any clue during the game on the sidelines what was going on in that other game? Did you have any idea?
Absolutely not. No.
Is that a weird feeling? Because you won the game and it was kind of a frantic finish. Bortles runs down the field, then the defense has stopped him on 4 downs, and Shorts, who's now on the team, almost catches a pass in the back of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
When did you find out that you didn't make the playoffs? Right? Was it right after?
Not until I got back to the locker room. I was just coming off the field happy about the win, that all the hard work that we put in that week, it paid off, and we got the win, and we did what we set out to do that week.
All right, Jonathan Grimes in studio. Hang out for one more segment, Sports Flash at the bottom of the hour. I want to go through some of the offseason moves that have been made. Andre Johnson is now with the Colts. I want to do more on the quarterbacks and Ryan Mallett. Jonathan Grimes, Texans running back, is in studio. Triple threat, top of the hour. Mike and Seth, this is Mad Radio. Mad Radio, Sports Radio 610. We've got our Hoops Challenge coming up. On Sunday, April 19th, noon until 4, we're at the Legends Sports Complex in the Woodlands, just off 45 at 602 Pruitt Road. We're going to do a horse competition, 3-point contest, free throws, skill competition as well. Register online. You can pre-register. You don't have to, but if you do, you get a free Hoops Challenge t-shirt brought to you by T-Shirts, etc. So check that out, sportsradio610.com. The Hoops Challenge is brought to you by Wingstop, the wing experts with 63 Houston area locations. Jonathan Grimes, Texans running back, is in studio with us. So you're a singer, huh? You sing and you play the piano, right?
That's right.
What kind of songs do you sing?
I think my voice is best for R&B, you know.
Yeah, that's what I always said about
school.
myself as well.
I'm
We
not-
should get together on something for
Yeah.
like a promo or something.
Right.
And you play the piano also?
Yes.
So how often do you do that over the course of the off season?
I try to play every day, really.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Does it relax you?
If I can. If there's a piano available, I'm gonna play it.
Interesting. Well, I was reading. Did your parents make it a condition of you playing football that you also learn to play music?
Right. Definitely. That was a deal we made when I was about 7 years old.
I like that deal.
Mhm.
That's a good job by them. I like that.
I like the
Diversity.
Nobody plays the piano anymore. And you were a music major. You weren't. Was it musical education or just flat out music?
Just music.
So what do you
with
do as a-
concentrating on piano?
As a music major, how many credits a semester are you taking for strictly music?
I don't know. I was just chugging away at those credits.
You just keep saying you got to play like how many different instruments?
I only had to focus on the piano. I didn't have to like try to specialize in all kinds of other stuff.
It seems like music as a major would be, for one, I'm incapable of playing any musical instrument as hard
you
as
and I
I've
are the
tried.
same way.
But like
Yeah.
it seems like that would be kind of labor intensive. You got to
Yeah,
practice
I mean,
a lot
it
of
was a-
pieces.
Yeah, you got to practice, and it's also a lot of history that you got to study with music.
Musical theory and all that stuff. The
exactly.
4/4 time.
All that.
What
yeah.
the hell's a backbeat? Can you tell me what a backbeat is? It's like people always like that's the difference with rock and roll. It's got a backbeat. Well, that's great. What the hell's a backbeat?
I mean, it's kind of hard to explain sometimes. I'd really have to brush up on my stuff.
Really?
Because, yeah. Like,
Good. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better
okay.
that you can't explain it to a layperson like myself. You know what it is because you know what you're like. Oh, that's a backbeat. I hear a backbeat. That's
As a
what it
rookie,
is.
they make you like sing songs or play the piano at the end of training camp or whatever. They make you do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we actually put on a show. I think our show was the best show that year. It was me, Case Keenum, and Philip Supernaw.
Oh yeah.
We put on a little show. Somebody brought in a keyboard. I played the keyboard. Case played the guitar, and Supernaw rapped.
Oh, really?
over it. Yeah.
And you actually did he freestyle or did you guys put something together?
Nah, we opened up with I think Wagon Wheel, and then we went in Lil Wayne Lollipop somehow, and it was pretty entertaining.
Oh, you just got up and just went for it. You
Yeah.
just
Well,
jammed and it went into.
we practiced it like one time, and we
Yeah.
were like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, no. If you get up in those rookie shows and actually have any kind of talent, you blow everybody
you're
else
good.
away. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the worst thing is I remember because we got hazed a lot back in the day, but they tell you during minicamp, hey, just be sure you know your fight song. So you're like, all right, I know how to sing my fight song. I'll get up in the cafeteria and I'll sing the fight song. But after like the first guy gets up and sings his fight song, they don't allow the fight song anymore. So you just get up and they expect they're like, no, sing something else. So you start trying to sing Metallica or something, and that doesn't go for it. If you don't have any talent, you're screwed. Like I had my fight song all practiced, but no, you couldn't do the fight song.
Do you remember anybody like in your 10 years who was especially good in that talent show?
Oh boy, yeah. Well, we had just the impressions are always good when somebody does. If you just dress any player dressed up as a woman, like if you pick on a vet and dress him up like in a dress as a woman or something, that gets a big hoot. But offensive lineman, right, Jonathan? You ever see like an offensive lineman dress up as a woman in any skit? That usually gets a
I don't think they dressed up as a woman, but they had some pretty funny get-ups.
yeah.
Let me ask you this, real talk. Would you, because this is something that is like reported on every once in a while, and the Texans are one of the teams that they can force to do this. Would you want to be on Hard Knocks?
I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent about it. I don't know how it would be. It might get annoying just having cameras around all the time. As long as it's not a distraction, it'd be great. But
Do you
I
ever
could see it being a distraction.
Do you ever watch the show?
Yeah, I watch it. It's definitely entertaining.
It's definitely entertaining. Yeah, I feel like people would like to get to know the team and the players. But I could see how it would be. It's a lot of cameras. Maybe you get used to the cameras, though.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I've never lived that kind of lifestyle. Jonathan Grimes in studio with us. What can you tell us about Ryan Mallett? We had our friend Hub Arkush join us last week. He's a football writer out of Chicago, and he told us that he heard from some people in Houston the Texans had some questions about his work ethic, which is something that we have not heard whatsoever. Bill O'Brien's always been very positive on Ryan Mallett in terms of that area. As one of his teammates, what have you observed about Ryan Mallett?
He's pretty thorough. I always see him going in for like extra film. He's always encouraging extra meetings. So he's very like cerebral as far as knowing the offense and getting it done. And I think he has a good work ethic as far as what I can see.
Is it weird for you just thinking about this team without without Andre Johnson on it?
I think it's weird for everyone
Yeah.
that watches football, period, in the NFL, just to see, Andre in a different uniform. It's going to be different.
And you're young. I mean, you're young enough that when you first came to the team and you see Andre's one of those guys that you see in your same locker room, and you're like, oh yeah, that's kind of a big deal. Like it's kind of cool. Do you have those moments every now and then where you realize like, oh man, I'm hanging out with Andre Johnson. This is I'm playing on the same football team as Andre Johnson.
Yeah, it's definitely tight. I remember actually in high school, there was a guy on the Texans, Wally Lundy, running back.
Yeah.
And he's from Jersey, and he hooked me up with some tickets when they were playing the Jets. And I remember I came and talked to him after the game, near the buses and everything. And I remember seeing Andre Johnson right there, and that was like so long. I'm in high school seeing Andre Johnson, like, wow. And then I'm on his team in the locker room, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
Was it at all surprising when the team let Andre and Chris Myers go early March?
I mean, the league is just a business, and you just go with whatever happens. You control the things that you can control, and then let everything else happen.
We've had multiple people now, and I thought people were joking at first, but now we've had at least 3 different people tell us to ask you about your roller skating skills. This is a real thing?
This is a real thing.
You got quad skills?
I got quad skills.
You dance and everything?
Yep.
That's Mike, have you seen this at all?
I've not seen
it. People dancing on their quad roller skates?
I remember when I was like a teenager, some of my friends were into inline skating.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty good at it.
But they were good dancing though?
I don't
or
think
they
were
just
good
at
dancing.
inline dancing? You're actually like where can we see you do this?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
is there a YouTube?
You're gonna actually come and see me skate. I mean,
Yeah,
you can come out and skate if you want. I've been going to Alameda Skate Center down here. I got a really good skating ring back at home, Millennium in Camden. But I always look for somewhere to skate.
Yeah. Do you ever so you don't make it back to Jersey much though?
Not too much. Maybe 3-4 times a year. Maybe.
You ever work out at that crazy place that Cushing works out up there?
Where does he work out?
Oh God, I don't know. I can't think of the guy's name. I don't know. There's all kinds of they strap chains to the bar and you're doing all kinds of crazy box jumps and everything. What's up with the box jumping phenomenon? You can't turn on everybody. You got to see JJ Watt box jumping here. Do you have a box jumping video?
I don't have.
What's your highest you've box jumped?
I couldn't tell you.
You couldn't tell you? Okay. Okay, good.
I'm going to steal one of your questions.
All right.
Are you from the scenic area of New Jersey or from like the chemical plant New Jersey?
My town is very, very small. It's Palmyra, right across the bridge from Philadelphia. So
so you're from like some South Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay, because people don't know New Jersey is like 2 different places.
It definitely is. South Jersey, North Jersey is completely different. Like, I don't know anything about North Jersey really.
But then there's rural Jersey too. There's like the completely forgotten Jersey is like that. There's actually nice mountains and countryside and everything too. Right?
It's a nice place. It's called the Garden State. So
well,
you know,
that's the things called people. Probably girls call themselves pretty.
What do people in your part of New Jersey think of Jersey Shore, the show?
I never really talked about any Jersey Shore to people around there. Like I don't really know where they found those people. I don't see people
Definitely
like that every
town.
day. Nah.
Jonathan Grimes joining us in studio. Let me ask you 1 or 2 more football ones. With the departure of Andre, DeAndre Hopkins becomes the #1 receiver. They sign Cecil Shorts. When you look at the offense as a whole, season, the regular season, I mean, other than yourself, like players who you notice, maybe skill guys, offensive line, who you feel like, all right, those guys can really be something.
I mean, it's so much potential on the team, and you never know who's going to have a breakout year. You never know who's just going to stay consistent. I couldn't single out one person because I don't know what everybody's doing in the offseason either. I can only speak for myself with that.
Last thing, as a running back in the NFL, you're in this situation, you're on this roster. There are a ton of running backs in this draft. It's considered to be a replaceable position. Do you worry about the draft a month from now and if the Texans are likely to take a running back? Or do you take the approach of what you mentioned a few minutes ago, which is you can only control what you can control?
Exactly. Especially after how my career started, just bouncing around all over. I never really worry about anything like that. I just try to work hard and keep going.
Jonathan, good stuff. We appreciate your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
Jonathan Grimes, Texans running back in studio. I would promote your Twitter account, but you're off social media, which is
good
great.
For you,
that's a great job.
Good move by you.
Yeah, do not go on social
Twitter.
media. It's evil. It's the devil. Sports Flash on the way. And we need to get to the Cron commentators who had some thoughts on JJ and Caroline Wozniacki being seen at the championship on Monday night.
Why did we not ask Jonathan about that? No, because we're not idiots. That's why. Okay.
That's why. Mad Radio, stay put.